best budget phone out this year.
CMF Phone 2 Pro. Search now on Flipkart.
राहुल तेरी वजह से पूरा प्लान कैंसिल हो गया। अरे भाई रहने दे।
सुन, बडीज के साथ क्रिकेट स्क्रीनिंग का प्लान बनना फास्ट, सेम प्लान कैंसिल होना उससे भी फास्ट। उसी क्रिकेट मैच के स्कोर अपडेट्स ESPN क्रिक इन्फो पे मिलना सुपर फास्ट स्कोर अपडेट्स के साथ और भी बहुत कुछ मिलेगा।
For fast scores and a lot more, download the ESPN Crick Info app now.
Fast scores in an innings that's taking its time, but Pakistan are huffing and puffing their way to 160. We're just a few minutes before the close of that innings, but they needed all those batters and all those all-rounders and that batting depth that this new look Pakistan team under Salman Agha and Mike Hesson as the head coach promises to display in this Asia Cup. It's not been easy, but is it good enough? And what caused the trouble for Pakistan in their first game of this Asia Cup against Oman, playing their first game ever in an Asia Cup tournament? Wasim, Jaffer and Yash on CMF by Nothing presents ESPN Crick Info Timeout. Gentlemen, please tell us what to make of that innings. 160, we're still one ball away. It's been an hour and 48 minutes. So maybe the strike rates are trying to go up, but the over rates are on its way down, Wasim. Why was that hard work for Pakistan's batters?
Well, I think again probably the lack of pace. The batters are not used to it, and even in the first 4 overs the power play they were just going 6 run and over. It's only in the last over the power play they picked up 16 and picked up the pace. And a lot of credit needs to go to their bowler Shah Faisal. Shah Faisal, is it right? Yeah, Shah Faisal.
He's taken 3.
And then Amir Kaleem, the way he bowled, and Shakil, especially left arm spinner bowling, even against the left-handers, bowled really, really well. So, a lot of credit needs to be given for how they bowled. I mean, Pakistan batters barring Mohammad Haris have found it difficult in the later half. Mohammad Nawaz struck a few, but other than that, they found it tough.
Yeah, I mean 160 is exactly what this innings has now come to an end. 160 for 7, Pakistan winning the toss and batting first. Remember, Yash, break that innings down for us, please.
Yeah, curious one. They started, well, it was difficult. Saim Ayub fell in the first over. The first 5 overs, as Wasim points out, only 31. And Oman with a mix of medium pacers who really had a lot of off-pace deliveries and those 2 slow left-armers who I'm sure we'll talk more on later on. But the next 5 overs, it felt like they've kicked on because Mohammad Haris in particular had really picked up the pace. 18 of his first 20 balls, but he took off from that 6th over when he attacked Amir Kaleem. And then at 10 overs, 85, it felt like we are at least looking at the territory that most of us had seen coming.
So
180,
we had 5
190.
overs at about a run a ball, then we had 5 overs at
more than 10, at 54 runs between over 6 and 10.
Right.
But what's happened after that is that the next 7 overs, 40 for 4. And all sorts of things happened. Saibzada Farhan had never really got going. He got a lucky reprieve early on, was dropped when he was on 2. It was the 2 spinners. It was Shakil bowling and Kaleem who dropped that catch. And Shakil had a lot to say to Kaleem. But Kaleem more than made up with his bowling later on in the day. But yeah, in those overs, Haris falls and then the captain comes and he hits a full toss straight to deep mid wicket. That's where the innings just lost all steam.
Left arm spin, orthodox left arm spin having such an impact for a lower ranked team like Oman against Pakistan, who certainly have it in them to take down left arm spin. What happened there?
I mean, barring Fakhar Zaman, most of the batters are right-handers. So, they found it tough. It's a big field as well. So, it's not easy to clear boundaries. We have found so many catches being holed out in the boundary line and credit to Oman fielders as well. They have caught most of the catches, I mean, barring that the second over thing, but they fielded really well. So I think the spin, left arm spin, especially against right-handers, batters have found it tough.
The whole chat on our pre-show, a large part of it, other than the overall Pakistan picture, that this is going to be a team that will play big shots, and we spoke of Saibzada Farhan, beg your pardon, like he's going to do what Abhishek Sharma is doing for India, or at least has been given that license. And the end of it, you look at the scorecard, it's run about 29. What happened?
Just as I think what Wasim mentioned, they aren't perhaps used to seeing a seamer come in and bowl just about 120, 125, and there was a lot of slow medium pace.
I mean,
very
come
respectfully.
on, but high ranked teams and teams that play high level cricket, PSL's high level cricket. I mean, you saw India's batters, even if they get a 110, 120, those guys just bludgeon them. So there's just a big gulf in the power game. Yeah, I don't need to keep comparing the two sides. But you would have thought that even a young batter like Sahibzada would be able to dominate this. Why is it hard for these batters?
I don't know if it was pitch, coming a little bit slower at the start. We've talked about it yesterday also at Abu Dhabi. It was a little slower. Probably that, and then Saim Ayub getting out in the first over itself have pulled things down. It should not, because Sahibzada Farhan is known to do that job for them. But I think it's just the lack of pace, probably the pitch. To some known bowlers against a good competition, I feel your adrenaline is more rushed compared to these games.
Yeah, I mean, it could take us back to the decision at the toss. But let's just go on what worked. Mohammad Haris.
Yeah.
And you said the innings was broken down curiously. He started slowly, managed to then catch up.
Yeah, he was at par with the openers when it came to the struggles in the first 5 overs. He was only 18 of 20 balls at the start of that 6th, which is where he took down the spin of Amir Kaleem. It was his first over. Got a 6 and a 4, got going, and the shots flew from there. What is really curious though is Mohammad Haris's batting position. He started his T20I career with number 3 being his designated spot. He batted.
He is an opener, I think.
Opener number 3. He batted in the top 3 for 16 of his first 17 innings and had a strike rate of 150 plus. But now in the last 11 innings, after these experiments have happened and Pakistan have tried to prolong their batting depth, he's actually batted everywhere from number 3 to number 8 in just the last 11 innings. In the tri-series that just went by, he has an innings at 5, he has 2 or 3 at number 7, he has 1 at number 4. But today, after a while, and only 3 of those 11 innings were at number 3. In those 3, he had struggled, but today, after a while, he came at number 3. What the reasoning for that is, if you think left-right, clearly not, because Fakhar Zaman would have been the obvious candidate, but that's not what happened. For what it's worth, it worked out, and Pakistan do have some questions around who their number 3 or number 4 is. Perhaps they're looking to be flexible.
What impresses you most about Haris, and do you get an indication of whether this is a batter that shouldn't be flexible, that this should be his position?
I think he likes pace on the ball. Clearly from what I remember watching him. But I think his position is obviously in the power play. If he bats there, he obviously favors the leg side. We've seen that before. But today we've got to see a lot of shots on the offside as well. So looks like he's worked on that game as well. A lot of stillness at the crease also. He doesn't move around too much, and I think he picked his bowlers. Again, everybody I think found difficult, at the start of the inning, but he picked up pace similarly to how Liton Das picked up pace yesterday.
Yeah, I guess what we can expect here is sometimes we get carried away by T20 scores, but the UAE presents challenges, surfaces, big ground you mentioned. So maybe the 200 equivalent is the 180, which you thought they'd get. What area did they miss out on getting that 180? Was it a Hassan Nawaz coming in struggling to get 9 or 50, and where say Azmatullah Omarzai came in and smashed a 20 ball 50 there? Correct. You have Mohammad Nawaz chipping in with a 19 of 10. Fakhar's done okay, although it's not necessarily a 170, 180 strike rate finish. He's still 23 not out of 16, which is also quite curious. Looking at him batting at number 4, I think just starved of the strike.
Exactly. So reflective of the lack of strike, because he came in at the end of the 11th over. He's been in the middle for 9 overs and faced only 16 of the 54 balls. He's also seen that mini collapse happen in front of him. And I think there was a period of 3 or 4 overs where he barely batted some 3 balls.
Wasim, just breaking that in, what are they missing over here? Why was it that they couldn't just get themselves to a 175, 180 with the wickets and not actually just struggle to get to 160?
I think it's when Haris got out and straight away the next ball the captain got out. I think the inning just lost its pace, and I think Oman bowlers came back in that 4 overs, and there were 3 or 4 overs of 4, 5 and 6, something like that, and they lost the plot there. That's where I think Hassan Nawaz came and played a lot of dot balls. Again, in a crucial game, that could be the decisive factor. It won't hurt them as much, but that's where I think they need to improve.
It's illustrated right there in that center figure. 85 for 1 in 10 becomes 125 for 5 after 17. and it took some of those runs in the last few overs to get them to 160. But I also think credit where credit is due. Oman did bowl well.
Sure.
Those two slow left armers in particular, I think deserve a lot of credit. One, holding the runs. They found it really hard to get any runs of Shakil Ahmed. And Amir Kaleem is quite the story. Hails from Karachi, ripe young age of 43, and he's picked 3 wickets here.
Yeah. I mean, there's more than one player from that part of the world there. That's what we discussed in our pre-show too. Just to feel like, I guess if India are watching this game, I mean, I wonder, forget what India are feeling. How will Pakistan feel about that kind of batting effort ahead of what is significantly higher stakes clash against India? How do you think they'd feel?
Well, they'll probably need to go really, aggressive in the power play, knowing that what they're going to get in the middle overs with Kuldeep, Chakravarti, and Akshar. They are not going to give them easy runs. Plus it's going to be a big boundary. So they need to go hard in the power play and obviously hold on to their wickets as well, because in that middle period, that's where I think the game's going to change, and I think Indian team looking will be happy at what they've seen after Mohammad Haris got out.
Yeah, I mean, let's revisit this chat in fairness after the game's done, and let's hope from Pakistan's point of view at least that they actually get the job done. Now 160, at one stage we're thinking 148, 150, maybe this would be Oman's best efforts against a top ranked team. Anything on the stats?
Yeah, they've not played a lot of cricket against full members, just this. It's only the 7th time that a full member is batting first against them, and this score, now that they've added those runs in the last over, is the 3rd lowest or 5th highest, however you place it in a top 7. But yeah, only twice has a full member batting first scored lesser than this against Oman.
Any chance that Oman could chase this?
1%. 1%.
1%.
Are you
from me?
Can I indulge myself a bit? Mr. Jaffer was with us for Pakistan's T20 World Cup opener, which we remember from last year, which was Pakistan versus USA. Pakistan batted first. Their opener struggled. The score was 159. It's 160 this time.
Walking Alive has brought up that point on our YouTube live. It says Pakistan scored 159 against the USA, but who will be Oman's Aaron Jones? Which is a very good reference to a fine innings that the USA batter played. Gujjar is saying it's a very good wicket, very good score on this wicket. And there's also a couple of comments saying if this is how it's going to be, it's going to be a cakewalk for India. Well, we'll come to that later.
I can answer the first part of that. That in that particular game, it was the captain, which was Monang Patel, who played quite a decisive hand. His was the unbeaten half century that eventually forced the super over, along with runs from Harmeet Singh. I think it was right in the last over.
Encyclopedia, Mr. Jha, beyond Asia,
so
the Americas as well.
We've got Jatinder now.
Okay, 1% chance that you've given Oman, but in fairness, Pakistan have played 2 wrist spinners. They have Shaheen Shah Afridi. You expect Pakistan to chase this comfortably?
Yeah, they should win this easy because it's a big ground. The pitch that didn't look like easy to bat on, and with couple of wrist spinners, I think they should win this easy
by
35 runs.
That's not so bad. 130 in response to 160, 125, 130. Mr. Jha, are you going for something more dramatic?
No, although I will admit forecaster has me a little taken aback, because forecaster is giving Oman 45%.
I mean,
I guess there is historical data. Oman last year were a very different team, building up their catalogue of high T20I scores, which of course goes into the system here. I'm not giving them as much of a chance. I think I'll stick somewhere close to what Wasim was saying.
25, 30.
Maybe 120.
Okay, I'm going to leave it over there. Wasim says 1%, forecaster says 45%. Surely Pakistan. Pakistan to win
margin.
This. 80 run win. So, due respect to Oman and all that. Anyway, Wasim, thank you. Yash, pleasure as always. Let's pick up the chat at the end of this game to see what the story is. Hopefully, Pakistan would have picked up their points. Otherwise, it's an insane story. And we'll build up to other games coming up as a result too. On CMF by Nothing presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Join us at the end of the game.
Best budget thrown out this year.
CMF Phone 2 Pro. Search now on Flipkart.